They might have actually figured a way to save GameStop. So it seems like GameStop might be actually doing something to make it past 2020. Now, if you would have told me at the start of coronavirus that GameStop would have somehow ended up saving their stores and keeping themselves from being closed down and shut down, honestly, I wouldn't have believed you. I would have assumed that, hey, they're probably going to go out of business or at least cut a ton of stores. But that might actually not be the case. They might have actually figured a way to save GameStop. And how is that? Well, it looks like Microsoft has stepped in to help them. And this could go either one of two ways. It could benefit GameStop and they could grow and flourish, or it'll just look like something that Microsoft couldn't task or handle and it'll just make them look bad. So I'm very interested to talk about this topic. Now, it happened late last week and I didn't get to it until today, and so I wanted to bring that to your attention. GameStop and Microsoft have came to a deal and it looks like it could be a good thing. Now, first off, GameStop has been on the decline since about 2015. When I looked at the stocks, it just looked like they were plummeting from 2015 to 16 to 17 to 18 to 19 to 20. It looked like they started to go up in August a little bit, but I feel like we'll see how that goes. But it's been on a downward spiral since then, and honestly, that's not a surprise. GameStop is only in the news notoriously for their bad customer service or something terrible they do. You don't often hear of good things that GameStop does, and even more, GameStop reoccurringly having good things. It's always one bad thing after another, and on this channel I've talked about those bad things, I've talked about good things about GameStop, but the majority of it seems to be bad, and that just is the way that GameStop kind of handles their functions, how they run their business, and it just doesn't end up well for them. With 2020 being the year of the coronavirus in the US at least, it looks like GameStop was probably going to meet its end, or like I said earlier, have to cut back on stores, because if you can't trade in for used games, GameStop can't get inventory. That means they can't sell as many games, which means they're not getting as much money, which means overall they're losing money more than they already were. They were doing astronomical losses, and even before the coronavirus, they were struggling. And so I was interested to see kind of how they would handle that, and it looks like they haven't been doing well. It looks like they said their numbers were up because games were actually fluctuating because everyone was stuck home, and so that was benefiting GameStop there. But honestly, I feel like GameStop really was lacking because they didn't have that trade revenue coming in. A lot of times they'll do credit, they'll give you less credit than cash, or let me rephrase it, they'll give you less cash than credit, and then that incentivizes someone to trade in and get credit, which then gets them more inventory. But with the lack of trade-ins, it seems like it is a big deal. Now, I recently talked about how they had a trade-in kind of scam, if you will, about the Xbox One, not the Xbox One, the Xbox Series S and X, and then the PS5, both the physical and digital, but they took that off their website. It's nowhere to be found, and I think that is probably due to the lack of trade-in that they've been getting. It's not worth them already to keep trading in and trying to get pre-orders, because if you miss the pre-orders, they may not even be able to get you the pre-orders, and so it just seemed like a better thing for them to cut and burn and move forward with in the future, instead of trying to trade for something that someone may not even be able to get. Getting down to it, it looks like Microsoft is much more going to benefit GameStop than GameStop is going to benefit Microsoft. At least that's what it looks like on the surface. It may be deeper than that, but we'll go ahead and talk about all the things that are kind of happening. First off, Microsoft is supplying GameStop and their employees and their stores with Dynamics 365, which is Office 365, which is all their stuff to keep their businesses running. Everything that Microsoft uses and produces for businesses to use, they're now giving that to GameStop, which means that's a lot of money that GameStop is saving. Hopefully this is something that will give us kind of that Microsoft Store kind of feel instead of GameStop, but I don't know if I like that idea either. Will that be the future? It very much could be, but honestly, I feel like the way that they're doing it, they're implementing Dynamics 365, Office 365, they're giving their employees Microsoft Surfaces, that way it'll integrate with all that other stuff, and I'm interested to see what this does for GameStop. It could make it a much more pleasant way of doing it. If you can go into the store and say, hey, I'm looking for Mario Kart Wii, do you have a copy? And the employee just pulls out their Surface. Yeah, we have one, it's here, let me go get it. Or no, sorry, we don't have it, but I can order it. This store here has it, you can get it delivered or whatever, or you can use the online store. Whatever it is, I feel like that could definitely benefit GameStop, move them kind of more into the technology field that they kind of have been lacking, I feel like, because a lot of these stores like Best Buy or Walmart or Target have ways to buy in-store from other stores and all that stuff. So I think that could benefit GameStop for sure. But that's just the in-store aspect. The next aspect is digital sales. GameStop, for some reason, will be getting revenue from all digital sales on Microsoft Xbox. So at the Game Pass, they'll be getting it for any digital games sold or I guess bought by a customer. If it's sold digitally, GameStop is somehow gonna get like a license or royalty. I don't know how it's working, but somehow GameStop will be getting money from someone buying digitally on the Xbox, which I think that's crazy. But that means GameStop is gonna have money funneling in, and maybe they can change up their store. And I feel like this actually might be a viable option for GameStop to move forward. Now, I don't know all the details, I don't know the cut and all that, but it could be more money in GameStop's pocket to actually succeed and not fail, but we'll see about that. But my biggest thing from this, and I think a lot of people think this, is GameStop usually does all three. It does Xbox, it does PlayStation, and it does Nintendo. All of those are great systems. They have their own things. GameStop even does some PCs, some places, depending on. But I think it depends on where you are and all that. But I'm interested to see how the store changes. Like, will there be more of a dedicated Xbox section than a PlayStation or a Nintendo Switch? Or maybe they have some Alienwares in the back. I don't know. But I'm very afraid that maybe this could be a bad thing and is maybe Xbox's way of pushing kind of Sony and PlayStation kind of off into the side, because if, well, the employees at GameStop are pushing the Xbox Series S or X instead of the PlayStation 5, it could mean less sales for the PS5 and more for Xbox. So I think this is a subject that is touchy, and I will make another video about this, but I feel like that's kind of where we are currently. We don't know how this is going to affect GameStop. We don't know if it's going to be good or bad, but I wanted to bring you guys that. It's information that I feel like you may have missed, or if you saw some of it but you didn't see all of it. I think it's pretty crazy that Microsoft is investing in GameStop, and I don't know, honestly. It just seems very suspicious and could be good for GameStop and Xbox, and maybe PS or PlayStation and Nintendo will have a little issue, but I don't know. We'll see. But I wanted to say thank you so much for watching. Comment down below and let me know what you think of GameStop and Microsoft teaming up. Will this benefit them? Will it make it worse? I want to know what you think. Also, I want to say thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell notification. That way you know when I post more videos, which is every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And one more time, thank you so much for watching. I have fun making these videos, and honestly, this content with GameStop is always interesting, and you guys seem to like it. So make sure you watch it, comment, do all that stuff. But one more time, thank you so much for watching, and make sure you have a good day.